Welcome to All Things Mobile. We are going to dive deep into mobile tech for your phones, Android, iPhone, we don't care. But we will dive into the tech for simple phone setups because guys, I don't care if you have a professional video studio like we teach you here at Live Streaming Pros how to set up. I don't care if you have all of the fancy gadgetry for a studio setup for professional videos. You still should be using your phone at some point, right? For different things. And we'll talk about when those things are and when you should use your phone. But even if you haven't set up for a professional studio just yet, the great news is you can create professional video from just your mobile device. So that is what we're going to talk about today. And then we'll also get into a little bit of strategy around how to create a good video that matters and that actually works for your goals. So we'll dive into all of that. If you're new around here, please type new in the comments. I would love, love, love to meet you. And if you are new, then you don't know me. Hello, I'm Laria Petrucci from Live Streaming Pros, where we help you create professional live video that is uniquely you so that you're adding your personality to the mix. Okay, guys. I am so excited to introduce my guests today. Welcome, Dee and Pelpina.
I'm just trying to catch my breath.
You're
That was
I
like
know.
10 minutes. That was the most exercise I've done in like 9 months.
I know, right? It took you a little bit to get into it. You both danced well. Guys, in the comments, let us know who danced better. Oh, we've got tech.
That was the best way to start this. I loved it.
As all of you know who are in regulars, we always do a countdown timer and dance and get the energy up, get ready to have some fun. So let me introduce my guest. Dee Nimmin is from the YouTube channel, Dee Nimmin. 57,000 subscribers.
Maybe
Crazy.
126 today, maybe. I might be hitting that today. I don't know.
Nice. You
Maybe.
are, you don't even know, do you? Hold
I
on.
gotta check.
It's 127,000 subscribers on his.
127. I
That's
was off by
crazy.
1,000. Sorry. Yeah,
Can you bring your audio down just a little bit? I think you're hitting it hot.
I sure can. We good?
127,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, where he helps you with the mobile tech and setups and strategy as well. And so, I mean, you're talking about, you do so much, Dee, but this particular channel and why we're talking mobile here today is that you geek out on the simple setups.
I do. I geek out on the simple stuff, but I also geek out on the complex stuff as well.
Yeah, you do.
The biggest thing I geek out on is trying to teach someone how to do something with their phone where they're like, oh, all I have is my phone. I can't do this because I can't spend the money on this big gear. I love teaching people that you can do the same things that you can do with a big camera. It might look a little bit different, but you can make great videos with a phone or live stream.
Yes, both. And so that's what his passion is, and he's doing so well on his YouTube channel about. Pelpina here. Now, a lot of you guys don't know this, but Pelpina and I go way back. I think you said 2008?
I think so. I think it was 2008 when we first met. So this is a long, long time ago. And I'm so thrilled to be here with you
I know.
in your live show. This really, it means so much to me. So thank you for having me.
I'm thrilled to be back working with you and collabing with you because it's been so long, and I've followed your journey ever since we stopped working together. Now, Pelpina, for those of you who don't know, she is in the Netherlands. She's Dutch, and she helps with corporate, clients, and she is consultant to help people get started with mobile phone videos very simply, very easily. But you also might have spotted her on Social Media Examiner's podcast recently. I cannot wait to listen to that episode. People were like, hey, I heard you were being talked about. I was like, wait, what?
Yes, we definitely did talk about you because, this is really for me where a lot of things changed. So I started in television way back in the day, CW, Dallas, and you lived in
Yeah.
Dallas as well, and you had your own video podcast, and I interviewed you. And this really changed so much for me because before I interviewed you, I really thought, the bigger the better. You really need to have a lot of equipment, big cameras, big teams. That's what I was used to in
Yeah.
television.
I mean, in the studio, you've got those huge, big things.
Yes. And then I visited you and I noticed that it could be done very differently. And so you really inspired me. Of course, we started working together, which was awesome. I actually still have, look what I have.
Uh-oh. Oh, wow.
Look at this. I found this.
That's
The
amazing.
Web ATV card. So yeah, this was like in 2008 when we were working on this together. Then I moved back to the Netherlands, and as you said, right now I help mainly corporates, but a lot of like government, semi-government here in the Netherlands. People who really don't know anything about creating videos, how to make videos in a simple, efficient way, videos with a goal. How do you do that? Where do you start? What kind of simple equipment might you need? So that's what I do.
I love that. So we've got a powerhouse in here we've got a powerhouse team to talk about mobile. I see a blast from the past. Norm Flores in the house. Hey, Norm. He says WebBeat was 2010. He worked with us as well back then. So there you go.
Norm remembers. He knows.
Norm knows. All right. So shall we dig into, and you guys can follow both of these amazing friends of mine through the links in the description. But let's talk mobile gear. So when we're thinking about a simple setup, and I want everyone to remember this one thing, you need to have a good setup, even if you do have that professional setup. I always harp on that. There's something called life streams where you take people along for the journey of your life from the phone device, so that you can create a more raw connection with people. So even if you're doing really professional stuff, those live streams are really important to connect. And of course, you want to have good audio and video for those. So regardless if you're just getting started or using it on the go, on the fly, randomly, these are important gear pieces to have in your wheelhouse. So who wants to start? All right, fight.
You can go first. It's all yours. Go ahead.
Well, okay. First thing I want to say is, what if you don't have any gear, right? So you're starting from scratch. You have no idea. The first thing I want to say, a lot of people ask me, what do I need to get? What do I need to buy? Is there any light you can recommend? Any microphones? Where should I start? And really, to me, that's really not where you need to start, right? You need to start with a good plan, as you both know. Like, you need to start with a good plan. If you really want to save time, if you have goals and you want to work goal-oriented and make videos in an efficient way, then that's where you need to start, having a good plan. So say you have that in place, then the very basic few things are good audio, good light, and then the camera setup, which of course you can just do with your phone. Yeah. So good audio, that's really, as you both know, this is so important. So I always do an audio check before I do really anything else. So I listen to my surroundings. So that's really the first thing you need to do.
Well,
I
when
you show you the room we're in right now, because it wasn't a great setup, but then we put in all these things to kind of make the sound a little better.
Yeah. So when, do you want to chime in on the audio check, and what kinds of things are we looking for? You can do a clap to see echo, talk to me about those things.
Yeah, when it comes to microphones, there are a lot of.
Okay, we've got.
That actually scared me.
We've got a $4.99 super chat from Tommy to get D home fund. D is stuck in Mexico and has been since the lockdowns. So yeah, we'd love to see him get home.
Thanks, Tommy. Yeah, when it comes to microphones, you have a lot of different options. And when it comes to connecting a microphone to a phone, things get kind of weird there, but things you want to look out for are echoes. That will completely kill your audio. And one thing that you can do when you're trying to reduce echo in your room is put things on the floor. Like let's say you have a room and there's no rugs, you don't have a lot of curtains or whatever. Throw rugs on the floor, throw your clothes on the floor, throw blankets on the floor. Record in a room with your sofa, record around.
I don't think your mother will agree with that statement of
Hey.
throwing your clothes on the floor.
Hey, dirty clothes. I've done that. I've been in an Airbnb here in Mexico, and I've taken my dirty clothes and I've taken blankets and pillowcases and I put them all over tile floors because my echo was so bad. So yeah, there's things you can do to reduce the echo.
It makes such a big difference. It really makes such a big difference.
It does.
So yeah.
Yeah,
I love moving blankets. Yeah, moving blankets are a great trick.
Moving blankets are fantastic, and they're cheaper than actual sound blankets. But the other thing is get the microphone as close to your mouth as you can. That's really key.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so the closer the mic, the better. What mic should we be using?
Depends on what you're recording. Let's talk about that.
Complicated question, right?
This is a complicated question. Probably the most budget-friendly solution for mobile creators is to get a little lapel microphone. You know, everybody's seen these. They clip onto your shirt, or they clip onto your bag strap, or whatever you want to strap it onto. You can get really affordable ones. BOYA makes one called the BOYA BY-M1. It sounds great. It's around $20 US. The prices may have increased a little bit since the lockdown, but other companies make them as well, like Deity and Rode. But these are fantastic. They're probably the most budget friendly, especially if you go with something like BOYA. And then if you want to get something that costs a little bit more, but gives you a little bit more control, a lot more. SHURE makes a great solution that comes in a kit. This is the SHURE MV88 Plus. And the cool thing about this microphone, besides the fact that it sounds really good, is you can download an app so you can control the pattern of the microphone. So you can say, okay, I just want to record directly in front of the microphone, and I want it to record at a very narrow path, or I want it to record everything in a wide area, or you can record on both sides. So if you're doing an interview with someone, you can set the app to record on both sides of the microphone. So something like this is very versatile, but it is more expensive. So it depends on your budget. It depends on what you're trying to record.
Yeah.
How expensive is it? I'm so intrigued by this microphone, and you can change the pattern. That's really awesome. How much are we talking?
That whole kit, it comes with a stand, which is a quality Manfrotto stand. It comes with the actual phone mount and the microphone. It's over $200. Wow. So it is pricey, and I don't recommend that if you're just getting started and you're testing the waters. If you're just testing the waters, pick up something from BOYA, pick, $20, something like that. It's going to make a huge difference. But, the little earpieces with the microphone that comes with your phone, in most situations, that even sounds better than the microphone that's built into your phone. So
True.
don't be afraid that, hey, I don't have a microphone, I don't have a budget. Everybody got one when they came with their phone, unless maybe you picked up a new Apple and you don't get anything with it anymore. Plug that in and use it. It's better than nothing. I actually record all my TikTok videos with the built-in earpiece and microphone that came with my phone.
Do you?
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes, I
sounds great.
do this sometimes too. So when I have to do a voiceover, for example, this is a little trick for anyone who has to do a voiceover. So you have a video, and maybe you want to have your voice, talking about whatever you see on the screen. So what you can do is just grab a blanket. I know we were talking about, you just grab a blanket, put it over your head so you create your own little studio, and then record, your voice. And it always sounds really good. It gets a little hot, but it works.
Yeah, that does get hot. I've done that before.
I've done that too. It's like building, when we were all kids, we built those, blanket forts out of chairs.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing. Take a blanket, put it over you. I've also recorded in the closet before, because all of the clothes is in the closet. If you're doing voiceover work or something like that, yeah, it sounds great.
Or into a corner, not a flat wall, help reduce that echo. So these are all great tips for reducing echo and getting better sound with like almost no gear. This is fantastic. So
I'm going to stand by the dirty clothes on the floor. That's my thing.
No dirty clothes.
I'm going to die on that hill.
Fine. I just can't hear your mother's voice. That's all. Pelpina, you have some other pieces of gear that might be cheaper for simpler setups?
Right. Well, so if we talk about microphones, I really like this little Rode VideoMic Me. I really enjoy this one because it's really not that expensive and it works on almost any phone. So this one works best if you just plug it in and it works. This one works best if you are right in front of the camera. What Dee just said, the direction of the mic, the pattern really matters. And so this one works pretty well if you don't move around a lot and if you're right in front of the camera. But if you do move around a lot, then there's also wireless mics like these. So this is the Rode Wireless Go. It works great. I think this one is also a bit more expensive, probably also around $200. Not quite sure, so don't you have to check me on that. But it works really well as well. So that's as far as microphones. But maybe you wanted to talk about other gear as well.
Sure, go for it.
So something else I can really recommend is, so we were talking about audio, light, then the camera check. So once you put your phone in, say something like this is a selfie stick. And a little table tripod in one. It's the BENRO BK10. In some countries, it's the BENRO MK10. But what I love about this one is that you just put your phone in it. It could be either horizontal or vertical, like this. So you could film for YouTube, your newsletter, or perhaps Instagram stories or LinkedIn stories. So, you can change the direction. And so this is really great because it's so portable. And I think this is something a lot of people who I train really look for, something that you can just put in your bag. You don't have to worry about it. It's not too heavy and not too expensive. I think this one is about $30. So it works really well.
So that one, D is coming back, so ignore the fact that he's blank. He left us. He's like, I can't handle these two. There we are. So when you talk about that tripod setup, I use the Manfrotto with the Zhiyun. I think it's a Zhiyun one, the Manfrotto PIXI. But I love that yours flip down so it's more portable instead of having to undo this.
Oh, right. So this one flips like this.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually one of the most portable ones I know. I'm currently also testing the Pixel Maker, which is actually where my webcam is currently on the Pixel Maker. But, but I really think this one is a bit more user-friendly.
And what was the name of that one again?
The BENRO BK10.
Yes,
and
okay, BENRO.
It's called the BENRO MK10. So it kind of depends on where you live.
So those are great options.
I have something similar to that stand. It's a different make, different company, but I have that sitting behind me, holding up one of these, giving me that light behind me.
Nice. I love your background.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm in an Airbnb, so I just figured out how can I do something simple, and I just put that stand or something just like it, connected this to it.
Perfect.
So in the daytime, I make it white, and in the nighttime, I make it purple.
I love it.
It looks really
simple.
good.
It does. So you just have a little mini tripod. Of course, there's the SWITCHPOD from Pat Flynn and Caleb. So those are awesome as well. You got that one right there.
I've got that right here. This thing, I travel with this everywhere.
Love it.
It works for your camera, it works for your DSLR. The only thing that you have to do is put a mount on the top. So if you have some sort of a mount, you want to connect your phone, you have to screw a mount to the top of it. But this thing is fantastic.
They also added a ball head as well to that setup as an option. So so let's explain ball heads to make sure everybody understands. So when you have a ball head on it, it allows you to kind of like this. So where you can adjust it and rotate it, as opposed to just a flat head.
Everybody get your ball head out.
We're just playing more with our ball heads. Don't worry about us.
With our ball heads.
So long.
Oh, jeez. We've got SWITCHPOD is terrific. And if you guys have questions. Nick says SwitchPod is sweet. We've got lots of SwitchPod lovers in the house. I need the mount for my SwitchPod. So they're making all kinds of jokes in the comments. I'm going to ignore those.
I do want to mention something really quick about getting the right mount.
Yeah.
If you are getting a mount, especially if you're going to use it with your phone, well, of course, you'd have to use this with your phone, wouldn't you? You want to get something with a cold shoe on top. Let me see if I can come in on it. You see how it's got a little slot up here at the top? This allows you to connect a microphone. So if I wanted to connect this microphone to it,
good point.
I could actually slide that right into the slot and tighten it down, and then my phone goes in here, and then it connects to the tripod down at the bottom. So if you get this without a cold shoe, you're not going to be able to connect a microphone easily. You're going to have to MacGyver it with some other method.
Yeah. And then, oh, what was I going to say? Oh, there was a point that Pelpina had made that I wanted to point out. Oh, the rotating. She mentioned the rotating option. That is something you definitely want, because
you definitely do.
Yeah.
Yes. This one is from Joby. Actually, I think this was one of the first ones that I discovered that was actually able to do it. This is a couple years back. But yeah, so you're looking for something that can rotate, so you can
I like that rotation.
hold your phone vertically or horizontally. This is really nice. Yeah, Joby.
Joby is a good quality one, that's for sure. They've been around for a long time. And if you guys have questions, by the way, definitely put a Q in front of your questions so that we're gathering those up, and we'll tackle those here in a bit.
Yeah, I just want to say the importance of being able to turn your phone in a vertical format, in case anybody's wondering if you're just getting started. So if you're shooting on a platform like YouTube and you're making standard type content, you're going to record like this generally in a landscape format, which is this way. But if you're recording something like YouTube Shorts, or maybe you want to go live on Instagram, or you're recording a TikTok or a short form content for another platform, all of those are vertical. So that's why it's important to be able to flip your phone from this way over to this way to make sure that you're positioning your phone in a correct position.
I remember just a few years ago that I was like, how dare you put your phone in portrait mode? No. I was like teaching everybody not to do that, and then I gave up. Because Instagram. I die
inside every time I tell people it's okay, you can do it now, and it just kills me.
Coming from the broadcast world, does that bother you, Pelpina?
Yes, it did. I really resisted this for quite some time because I also still think that everything looks prettier. It's just 16:9. It's probably also because I'm used to it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just what you're used to, what you grow up with. But you know, when I travel, which I don't travel a lot anymore these days, we're in full lockdown here in the Netherlands. But whenever I do travel, and you know, if you just look around you, people on the train, in the bus, everyone, of course, holds their phone like this. So as video creators, you have to, you know, really think about that. And I always work with the 3 Ps: people, platform, purpose. So you first think, who is my people, my ideal viewer? And then secondly, where can I find my ideal viewer? Which platform? And depending on the viewer and the platform, you decide whether you film horizontally or vertically. That's what I would recommend. The 3rd P, by the way, is purpose.
Yes.
Which of course is really important, you know.
Well, why don't we talk about that? And then we can come back to the gear, but let's talk about purpose. I mean, are we just going live to go live and shoot video and just put something out there? Like, walk me through some purpose mindset.
Yes, well, I think so. This is one of the questions that people always ask me, you know, so they usually, what I just said, they usually start off with equipment, with gear. Where do I start? And I always say, okay, so you want to create a video. The first question is video. What is video? It's visual, right? So we always do a brainstorm and we think of what makes video different from perhaps a picture or a blog. What makes video different? Well, what makes it unique is that it's visual. I can see you. I can hear you. I can hear your voice. And so a good video is also personal. It's human. And so if you combine those things, and you can really come up with a purpose, with a goal. Who do I want to reach? What is going on in their world, in their life? What are themes that are going on right now? And how can I, as a company, or whatever goal you have, how can I become a part of that person's life and create a video that will actually matter to them? I think that's the most important part, is really thinking about, who do I want to reach? Perhaps work with personas, but really think of who am I trying to reach, and what is going on in their lives.
Yeah, exactly. Dee, what
Yeah.
are your thoughts about reaching
Yep.
people in that manner?
Yeah, everything she just said is fantastic. You know, a lot of people have this idea, be it live streaming or be it, you know, actually making videos. And I just want to make a video. I just want to make a video and upload it. I just want to get a video online. I just want to get a video online. But they don't pause to think about, who's going to watch this video and why should they watch this video, right? You're asking someone for the most valuable asset they have, which is time, which they're never going to get back. So if you upload a 5-minute video or you do a 30-minute live stream, you're asking someone to say, hey, stop what you're doing and watch my content. So you have to make sure that you're giving them a reason to watch. You have to make sure you're giving them a reason to hang out with you during a live stream. And that all comes down to value. You're going to have to bring some sort of value to the person you're making videos for.
And let's be clear, value, often in our world, I think we mistake value for education, and we limit it to that. Value comes in many different forms. Value can be education, how-to content, but it can also be entertainment. It can be connection, human connection and community. It can be inspirational, right? So like there are many forms of value. So you just have to be clear on, what is that value that I'm providing, and why would, as you said, somebody watch me?
Well,
It's something I would also, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Pelpina.
Well, something I would also really like to mention here, it's not just about who is going to watch my video, but also, what is my relationship with them?
Yeah.
And when are they going to watch it? So do they know me? Do they know who you are? When will they be watching this video? Are they completely new? You know, are you new to them? Then perhaps keep it short, you know, and look at it as a way to kind of get to know each other a little bit, really building up a connection. Are they familiar with you? Then perhaps you can go a little bit longer and show a bit more personality. And I think it also, you know, just what you said, Luria, it really depends. You know, you can be a value in different ways, but it also depends on what your relationship is with who is watching, or who you're trying to reach.
Yeah.
And that's where live streaming comes in. That's where live streaming comes in. It's like, you know, that building that connection with your audience, you know, one person at a time. There's no better way to connect with people on the internet than live streaming. Just flat out, there's no better way to do it.
Absolutely.
It's very intimate.
While I can't get behind the clothes, the dirty clothes on the floor, I can't get behind that statement.
It's not like when we're showing our ball heads, but you know,
It's really intimate. I don't know.
What do you guys?
The live stream this is.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't sign up for this. What do you guys think in the comments? Do you love live streaming for creating that connection? I know we have a couple of new people watching right now. Those of you who said and identified yourself as new at the beginning of this show, first of all, are you still here? Second of all, do you feel more connected to us because we are able to have more of a conversation and I'm talking to you? Nick says live streaming also helps people get the nuance of your personality, like what just happened, for example. I don't know what you're talking about, Nick.
I apologize for nothing.
Okay, so people love it. Yes. Okay, so we have a lot of questions, but one thing that I've seen come up often in the comments so far is, what are y'all's setups? So talk me through each of your setups, starting with you, Pelpina.
All right. So let's start off with my very basic setup. So I create a lot of videos for LinkedIn. I haven't dived into live streaming as much. Okay, I will.
I know. I've literally been watching you and waiting, and I've been like, when is she going live? When is she gonna live?
I know, we kind of tried a little bit, but man, this is difficult. So,
you know, it's not. You used to be in broadcast.
I know, but listen, we're in lockdown. We have 3 little kids. how, when, where are we going to do a live stream?
Oh,
I don't know.
oh,
So
we'll
anyway,
fix that.
Yes. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. Someone fix it, please. But yeah, so yeah, I'm really, you know, very excited about live streaming more. But for now, my basic setup with my phone, the videos that you see on LinkedIn, I do a lot of knowledge videos, which we just talked about, very simple little tip videos. Basic setup is just me in front of a window. Right now, I have a lot of lights around me. Normally, that's not like that. So it's just me in front of a window with my BENRO BK10, which I just showed you. And then I have the Rode SmartLav Plus, SmartLav. How do you pronounce that? I don't know.
SmartLav.
But yeah, SmartLav?
Yeah.
SmartLav.
Yeah.
SmartLav Plus. So yeah, that's my basic setup.
Is that's what you're using to shoot right now?
No, this. Oh no,
yeah.
this is. Oh, sorry, you were.
That's
talking
okay.
about
I should have clarified.
That's okay.
My fault.
No, this is the Logitech camera.
Okay.
Don't ask me which one.
The
No idea.
C922 probably. I'm gonna guess. And then Dee, what are you using?
My setup here is a little bit more complex, and I'm actually doing a combination of mobile plus actual cameras. So let me back off here. So I have this first camera that you're looking at right now. This is actually the Sony ZV-1, but I have another setup here.
I love that shot.
Yeah, so you can use FILMIC Pro. There's lots of different ways that you can go live with different apps and so on and so forth, and we can talk about those a little bit later. But what I'm using right now as a camera source is FILMIC Pro. FILMIC Pro is a camera where you can actually shoot fantastic video with it, a pro level camera.
Oh, no,
that scared me again.
Sorry.
But you can also, I'm not used to that, but you can also live stream with it. So I'm using an adapter, a lightning port going out to HDMI out, and then that is coming down and going into my ATEM Mini, which is HDMI, and I'm using Rode for my audio. So I have a couple of different setups here. This is the actual shot from FILMIC Pro, so you can see what this looks like. I could probably tweak this to dial it in a little bit better, but the reason I have a different setup is sometimes I go live on my channel for 2 or 3 hours, and I just want to, and I do more of a hangout. I do a Q&A, more of a community building type thing. I don't really do education during my live streaming. So for that, I like to keep things changing up, and I like to show different camera angles. And, you know, somebody asks, well, hey, can I go live with this? I can swap over to this and say, yes, you can. And I can talk a little bit about how it actually works.
Yeah.
So I've got all of these moving parts, which is, I had to step away earlier because this camera here, for the second time ever, it overheated on me.
Oh, no. You're using a dummy battery, right?
Yeah. So the funny thing is, I bought this camera because I was using IV cam in live stream. Like when the lockdown first happened, I didn't have any of this gear with me. I had my iPhone and I was using IV cam as my camera source, but my iPhone 11 kept overheating. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll get this. Yeah. So and now this is overheating. So yeah, what are you gonna do?
I'm very curious now because you keep mentioning that you're stuck. Where are you and how did this happen? I don't know this backstory.
Yeah, so a little bit of story. I live in Thailand. I live in Chiang Mai, Thailand, northern Thailand. I am American. We were in Mexico when the world shut down. So now I am American, so I can technically get back into the US. My girlfriend is not an American citizen, so she can't get into the US right now. Therefore, we are stuck where we're at. And, you know, flights are canceled, borders are closed all over the world. So we are literally stuck in Mexico. We're making the best of it. You know, we're being productive, and, you know, I'm setting up this crazy set so I can stream with it.
I know. It looks amazing. How long have you been there, though?
I'm impressed. Since
March. Since March.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Here we are.
But Dee is a perfect example of no excuses, guys. Like he had the worst results from the lockdown, right? Like he can't get home, he can't go anywhere. So he's made it happen. He's been consistent. Like, you guys, no excuses, no matter what.
I also want to say that this entire setup, as crazy as it might look, and I've got all these, you know, moving parts and everything. Everything fits into carry-on luggage on an airplane. All of this goes
Wow.
into, it doesn't have
That's
to, it
awesome.
doesn't have to go under the plane. Everything fits into that. And another thing that I'm doing, which I'm not going to actually play it now because I don't want to have a copyright issue. I don't want to cause a copyright issue on your problem.
Thank you.
But I'm also using my iPad Pro as a sound bank in addition to the sound bank on the RODECASTER. So I can play music, I can play sound effects, and it's sending the signal Bluetooth from my iPad over to the RODECASTER.
Nice.
So I can just play music, play playlists, that sort of
I
thing.
love it.
So it's kind of been, it's a hodgepodge of a setup, but I'm really, really enjoying it.
I love it.
Well, I'm very impressed.
And in terms of my setup, I'm using a Sony a6100 with a 16mm f1.4 lens with the RODECASTER Pro, a Rode NTG4 mic. No, this is not green screen. This is my living room. I have to specify that every time. But I just want to tackle a couple of comments. We were talking about if live streaming is powerful, and James says, love being able to get my direct questions and answer people's specific issues. It's fantastic. Also, where was it? Thrifty Pickers was new and very, very entertaining show. So, but also when we were talking about Pelpina's setup, there we go. Joel said, proof that with good lighting, a high-end webcam can look pretty good. Yeah, she's making it look good.
Absolutely.
Especially with that lighting behind her.
It doesn't really, well, okay, well.
She's like,
no comment.
Yeah.
No comment.
It looks good, though. It's like the first stage. I know you guys are still setting up the studio.
Yep. Yes, we are. Yes.
Lighting and good audio can work wonders. Like people, if the actual video quality is not that good, but your lighting is on point and your audio sounds good, people will watch your video.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be
live stream.
perfect.
Or your live stream, yeah.
What I love about great setups is that you can create instant credibility, so that you don't have to do you don't have to fight to get them to believe that you were there and you were able to speak about what you're speaking about. Like they just automatically assume that you know what you're talking about and then that you're the expert, because of that professional quality. But like even with Pelpina, like look at that. She has a C920 and she's added some lighting and she still looks professional, right? So you can get started with whatever you got. Okay, we had some questions about lighting specifically using Windows. Let's see, somebody said, Divided by Sight says, what about light if you can't get sunlight from the window? Do you guys have any mobile setups for lighting?
I do. I'm using you know what? I should have put a camera on this, but I didn't think I was going to get called out on lighting today.
Be prepared.
I'm using for my key light, and the key light is your main light. I'm using it's maybe 12 inches by 12 inches, and it's it rolls up. It's an LED panel for a company called FALCON. I actually made a video about my entire lighting setup, backlighting, key lights, rim lights, over on the STREAMYARD channel. So if you go over to STREAMYARD when this live stream is over, look for the thumbnail that's got like 2 pictures of me before and after, and I break down the entire setup. All the lighting in there is totally mobile, and it's affordable. I think it's like $70 for that light.
Wow,
And
that is really cool.
What about you, Pelpina? What do you use mobile?
So usually just natural light. So this is, just standing in front of a window, which is really difficult right now because it's dark, and I live in the Netherlands where it's always gray, no sunlight. But I do have a little hack, I guess you could say. So when I first started out, because right now I'm working with, a softbox and there's lights on the ceiling. But if you don't have all that and you're just starting out, what you want to work with is white light, right? So not yellow light, not a regular light that you put in front of your face. But what you could use is a construction light. I don't know if that's what it's called.
Yeah,
Right?
I used to use that a long time ago. Yeah, it's super simple.
Bounce it off the wall, so you don't want it to hit your face, because then
Too bright.
it's not going to look good and you're going to sweat. But what you want to do is bounce it off of a white wall or maybe the ceiling, play around with it a little bit, and that can do wonders. And those are not expensive. The only thing is they do get hot.
Yeah.
So your room will become hot very fast.
Or you can take Kevin's advice and just move to the Arctic Circle for great lighting. There you go. Lumen wanted to know, Pelpina, do you have a YouTube channel? Are you doing anything on YouTube?
I do. We were just talking about this because Dee said, so I checked your YouTube channel and it's all in Dutch. I wasn't sure if you fell or what was going on. But yes, I do have a YouTube channel, and it's Pelpina Trip. Trip is my last name. So I have a complicated first name, simple last name. But you know, there's not a lot on there yet. If you want to follow me for video tips, check my LinkedIn, because I'm very active on LinkedIn.
And you're doing stuff in English there.
Yes, everything is in English.
There you go. Because most of us can't understand you. I do. The funny thing is that she's so expressive. If you want to learn good camera technique, watch her videos in Dutch, because I still watch her videos in Dutch, even though I have no idea what she's saying, because she's so expressive. She's still fun to watch.
No one knows what she's talking about.
Bill Foster says, what about having a DJI Osmo? So we're talking, you know, I just blinked on the word. The type of gimbals.
Action cam?
Gimbals. Do you guys use any gimbals?
No, I don't. Well, he's talking about specifically about the action cam. So the DJI Osmo. I don't know if you can go live with that or not. I don't own one. I know you can use a GoPro as a camera source. So I assume that there's a way to actually use the Osmo as a camera source as well. I'm not sure. In terms of gimbals, I stopped using gimbals when I got my iPhone 11 Pro, because the image stabilization inside of this, while it's not cinematic smooth, and if you're trying to make films or something like that, absolutely pick up a gimbal. You know, the Osmo Mobile 3, the Osmo Mobile 4, those are all great. But if you're just doing vlogging or you're doing live streaming or something like that, just get something with some built-in stabilization. It's fine unless you want something to track you. Let's say you have a cooking channel, okay? And you want to set up a gimbal and you want something to follow you around the kitchen as you go around. You can get a gimbal. You can use the app that comes with the gimbal, and you can say, okay, track me, and you can hit your face, and it will track you as you walk around. So that could be really cool while live streaming. If you have maybe you're doing a craft channel or a cooking channel and you're walking around a studio or something like that, then a gimbal would really come in handy, and your phone would just spin around and follow you everywhere. So that would be very beneficial for that type of content.
Totally. I don't love them. Say again?
No, I agree with everything you said.
Okay.
So I remember I got one of the very first gimbals when it came around, and I used it for creating a ton of videos, but really because it was new and I really enjoyed using it. But now I hardly ever use it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
Here's interesting. Norm says that Walmart and Depot, the construction lights are now LED.
Yes, they are.
Nice.
Yeah, they did away. I don't know about in the Netherlands, but in the rest of the world,
Walmart or Home Depot here.
In the rest of the world, they're all now LED, so they don't get. The old kind used to get like super hot, like you literally you could cook on it. It was so hot.
Totally.
But yeah, now they're all LED.
I know.
Or you
We
could go
burned
paper
our
lantern.
chairs because of it. Like there's a burning hole. So yeah, I can speak from
I hope you own that house. Okay.
There's worse things in the world.
That's funny. We will be posting links to in the description after this of all of the pieces of gear that we've been talking about. So check back in a few hours if you're looking for the links to all of these. Fully Involved says, is there an adapter for USB-C for the Rode VideoMic Me? Pelpina, that's the one you showed off.
Yes, so this one, it depends. So there's different types of VideoMic Me. So as you can see, this one is for the iPhone, but if you have, I don't know, it's not really in focus. But if you have an Android phone, there's a different one, right? So first check which ones you need, and then get the one for your phone. That's what I would suggest.
Yes.
Luigi says, hi from Peru. Hello.
Hola. Hola, buenas tardes.
I'm not even going to attempt that. I need to show my logo and any other PNG image when streaming for my Android. Let's talk apps. So apps that you can add this.
Okay, so there's a couple of ways. Can I go first?
Go for it.
Okay. There's a couple of ways. Let's go. Let's go. There's a couple of ways that you can go live on your phone that I recommend. There's a ton of apps. There's a ton of different ways to do it. Here are the ways that I recommend. The easiest way to go live on your phone, it's browser-based. It's a browser-based system called StreamYard. If you go to StreamYard.com, you can use this on your Android, your iPhone, your tablet, your computer, your PC. It doesn't matter what you have. It's browser-based, and it works that way. And then it just connects your camera, and it connects your audio. When you have StreamYard, you can add PNG images over that. So you can have overlays to put graphics around you, to put your logo and that sort of thing. So that's the easiest way. And it's browser-based, which means it's the most reliable, right? They do all the heavy lifting. Now, if you want an app, the app that I recommend to do this is called PRISM Live Studio. It's available for Android and iPhone. You can play videos, like intro videos before you come on. You can show pictures. You can put logos on top of your image. It has filters built into it, and it's totally free. So those are the two that I recommend. There are some other apps like Streamlabs and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're good, but the first two I just recommended, or the first two I just talked about, are my favorite. They're the most reliable.
Fantastic.
Nice. I'm taking notes.
Do you have anything else to add to that, Pelpina? On the app side?
Not for live streaming, because
because
as I said,
you're focused more
I
on
don't
video.
live stream yet. I will more, but not. That's why I'm taking notes. I have a ton of apps for just creating videos with your phone.
Yeah. Or you could do as White Noise Studio says and use Post-its and hold them up.
Yeah. One cool thing about Prism Live Studio is if you're a gamer, I don't know if there's any gamers watching this right now, either live or on the replay, but they have a screen share feature that will broadcast your screen. So if you're trying to do educational content, you're wanting to show Keynote on your iPhone, or you're wanting to play your game or something like that, you can use your screen share and it will broadcast your screen.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. We've also got Mimo Reporter. Have you used that one?
What's it called?
Mimo Reporter.
Mimo Reporter. Nope. Have not.
I mean, there's Mimo, which I'm guessing is like the phone version of the Mimo software, which I know Carlos likes Mimo, so that's probably what that is.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many options.
There are so many options.
Let me say this: like, there's so many options, and the same thing when it comes to like video editing apps for your phone. Download them all. Find the ones that make the most sense to you. Find the ones that have the best user interface that makes sense to you, and find the one that doesn't crash your device, because not all devices and operating systems are going to play well with the app that you're using.
Yeah.
So try them all and just figure out which one works best for you.
There's truly no only answer.
Right.
Like there's just, it's not, I mean, we teach in our studio workshop, Create Your Dream Video Studio Workshop, we teach you exactly what to buy that works for the most people. But we have tons of students in our Streamer Accelerator program who are doing different things. And so just realize that while we can tell you what our favorites are, and you can start there, and for most people, those things are going to work spectacularly well. Sometimes, you may be trying to do something kind of off the cuff or a little bit different than most people. And so you have to be willing to not worry about the right answer, and it's really the right answer for you. So
yes, it's perfect. Different people like different things, different systems, different apps. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that.
Yeah,
So
totally.
there might be one app that makes me so happy, and then I try to teach it, show someone else, and they just get really grumpy and don't understand it at all.
Yeah, totally.
It's very different.
Different strokes for different folks.
Nice. Edward says, the question I get is, why not use Zoom for engagement rather than live streaming? Well, Zoom won't grow your audience. Live streaming on different platforms that have a built-in audience is what's going to grow your audience. You could do Zoom, like I do Zoom for my Streamer Accelerator members, right? And then we jump on Zoom every single week. That's connection point. That's super extra value. But it's not going to grow my audience. Any thoughts from you guys?
Zoom isn't discoverable. People
Yeah.
can't find your Zoom stream and just like come in to hang out with you.
Yeah.
But if you use a platform like YouTube, for example, YouTube can actually surface your live stream and tell people who don't know who you are, oh, this person's live right now. And then people can stumble into your live stream and get to know you and get to know your personality and maybe subscribe to your channel and become part of your community. You can't do that with
Yes.
Zoom because nobody can actually find you
Right.
unless you send them the link to actually join the Zoom call.
I guess it depends on the goals again, right? So who are you trying to reach? And you know, I do a lot of government, semi-government, so who lately have been, you know, had to make a lot of changes due to the lockdown. So it's like, you know, training police or training firefighters. And normally that would be in, you know, like at a location. And now they can't do that anymore. And so for these type of training, it's okay to use Zoom because they don't have to reach everyone. They don't have to have their message out there. It's really for a specific group of people. So I think it depends, you know, for some purposes, Zoom might work really well because you are just trying to reach maybe company employees or certain people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really true. If you're only trying to reach a certain specific people, like I just want to add these five people to my Zoom call, then it's perfect for that. It's absolutely perfect for that.
And
but if you're like, hey, I want a bunch of people to come hang out with me, you know, people to find me, then that's where you're going to need something like YouTube or Twitch or Facebook.
And as they're pointing out in the comments, yes, you can do Zoom and live streaming, which I'm actually talking about on Thursday. I'm doing a training on Thursday's stream about using Zoom and live stream together. So watch for that. But again, it's about the use case and who you're trying to reach. So Quinzone wants to know, Dee, how are you handling the bandwidth being in a rental in another country? I know you had trouble with that up front.
This is hilarious. So I'm to the point, like I'm just so burned out with everything that's going on. Like I'm to the point now where it's like I contact the Airbnb owners in advance. I'm like, how fast is your internet? I need to know your upload and your download speed. And if they don't get back to me with like a solid, sometimes they're like, oh, it's fast, don't worry about it. Skip on to the next Airbnb.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Right. And I'm just like, listen, I need to know exactly. But what I found is for 90% of the cases, because I think I've been in like 15 different Airbnbs since March.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm to the point now where I'm just very direct. I'm like, look, here I'm going to stay at your place for a couple of months. Do you have fiber internet? If you don't, can you install it? I'm happy to pay the extra fee. Right. And what I found is most places are happy to do that. We just might have to wait a couple of weeks to actually get it installed. The place I'm in right now, they had their internet was terrible when we first moved in here. We couldn't even check our email. But they installed fiber for us. It took about 2 weeks, but now I've got like 200 down and 100 up. And I think it cost me like an extra $5 on top of the rent. So
that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, ask them and push them faster. Rapido. Rapido, por favor.
Okay, we've got some more questions and we'll come back to tackle those. First of all, I want to make sure everybody knows where to find you guys. And then we'll finish out the Q&A section of this. So Dee, where can everybody find you? And follow along.
You can find me. My name, Dee Nimmin. I'm everywhere. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. You can also go to dnimmin.com and it's going to forward you over to my YouTube account. And now I'm on Clubhouse, which I find interesting. So pretty much search for my name anywhere.
Yeah. I'm not liking it.
I have barely tried it, but yeah.
What do you like about it?
I can't really say anything about it yet, but have you tried it, Dee?
I have. I just got on there a couple of days ago, and some of the things that I don't talk in there. I'm observing. I'm listening. I've been in some groups specifically about TikTok. There were some really large, successful TikTokers in there sharing some secrets, some tips that were amazing. Yeah. But what I found on like the YouTube end, which is kind of disappointing, everybody's talking about like, how to game your keyword phrases and you got to do this to optimize it. And nobody's talking about just make a good video like that. Like, no, I've said it on so many of these things and I'm just sitting in the background. I'm like, nobody's just talking about making a good video. They're all talking about, optimize that and optimize this and your keyword phrases and just, how about you just focus on making a video that somebody's going to like? How
Yeah.
about them apples? How about them apples? Right. So yeah, some of the rooms are great. Some of them are kind of like, you know.
Yeah. I have a lot of trouble with the fact that I am very focused right now on controlling my time and the idea that these things can be scheduled. I can't know things in advance. If I want to see something or hear something, you can't even see something. You can't chat. You can't repurpose content. Like it's all, there's so many things that I'm like, I don't know that this is worth our time to focus on because like in order to be a part of a conversation, you can't know and plan for it in advance. So I would have to come out of the focus mode I'm in to accomplish my goals to listen to somebody. And that's kind of counterintuitive to the way I work right now.
No,
This
I
is probably,
understand.
yeah, I mean, this, look,
Yeah.
if you guys agree with me here, say yes in the chat right now. I strongly believe that social media is a poison.
Yes, I agree.
Know, look, I get it. We all make our living that way.
Yeah.
But like there is a point where it's there's too much, it's poisonous. There's too much disinformation and negative stuff going on. I think it's a poison. So all these new platforms that are popping up, I'm just like, come on, another one? Like, you know, I find it difficult, and I think it's poison. And I always ride that line of like, you know what, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm just deleting everything except for like YouTube, you know, but I haven't done it yet. So. Because, you know, it's my business. So
it's hard. Yeah.
it's hard.
You need
you know?
focus, right? Like you only have so many hours in the day. And if you want to stay sane, you need focus. And to me, it's really about where are my viewers? Who do I really want to reach? Where's my target audience? And to me, everything changed when I started on LinkedIn. Like that changed everything. Started maybe 2 years ago on LinkedIn. Just put up a simple video and everything changed. So I think once you have found the right spot, focus on that. And yeah, so it's always good to kind of see where, you know, what's going on on other platforms. But yeah, having that focus is really key.
And there is a benefit to be an early adopter.
Yes.
I was an early adopter and I've had a 15-year career doing it. But man, like you don't want to be an early adopter for everything. You got to pick and choose your battles so that you don't have the squirrel mentality. So it's tough. You gotta choose for yourself. But anyway, that was a total random.
Speaking of a random squirrel mentality, hello. I want to mention something because I know there's probably people in the chat right now. There's at least one person in the chat right now who wants to go live. They're on YouTube and they think that they can't go live until they get 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of watch time because that is YouTube's threshold to be able to go live. That's not true. You can go live on your desktop and you can go live on your mobile if you have under 1,000 subscribers and if you have under 4,000 hours of watch time. The trick is you have to use a third-party solution. You have to use something like StreamYard or Prism Live Studio, or whatever app that you're going to use, Streamlabs or StreamChamp or Omelet Arcade, whatever you're going to use, you have to use a third-party solution for that, but you also have to verify your channel. So if you're new to YouTube, you're just getting started, go to youtube.com/verify, and it's going to let you know if you're verified or not. And if not, it's going to walk you through the process. It's free. It takes 24 hours. Then you can start live streaming. I get asked this question probably 100 times a day in my comments. So I wanted to address that while I was here.
Very, very good point. Yes, thank you. So, okay. So we have all kinds of questions and like comments about that. Pelpina Farmstead Smith wants to know, I don't know what this is. Farmy community? Could use LinkedIn
how you doing?
in any sort of
Farmy community.
What's a farmy community?
Homesteaders, farmers.
Oh, nice.
What is it?
Like homesteading. So like you basically living off the land.
Okay. Could use LinkedIn in any sort of positive way or well, yes, absolutely. So what I have discovered, okay, when I first started using LinkedIn, I was never really a LinkedIn believer. Didn't really do anything on LinkedIn. I was trying to push YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, really anything. And the only comments I ever received were from my aunts or sisters, commenting on, I like that dress. I'm like, that's not why I posted that video. But everything changed when I started putting things on LinkedIn. And what changed it is that my target audience was there. And what I learned is LinkedIn is really, it's not about finding a new job, which is what I thought it was about. It's not about finding a job. It's really about building a community, sharing knowledge. And so if you have a niche, specific, wherever you work, whether it's farming, whether it's in healthcare, maybe you, I don't know, make chocolates, whatever it is, there are people out there on LinkedIn who like the same thing. And so once you understand that, you can start building that community. It's really fascinating. So yes, my answer would be yes.
Wow.
I agree with that 100%. I'm going to piggyback on what she said.
Yeah.
When you get to the point where you're wanting to look for brand deals and start working with sponsors, even though you're a homesteading channel, you are using specific products and tools and stuff on your farm. I'm just assuming you've got a tractor, but with LinkedIn, you can find the people and connect with those companies directly and the people in charge of making those decisions. So when you are ready to start reaching out to some brands and introducing yourself and working into those communities, you can find the direct people there with those companies that you might want to work with and start building those relationships. So yes, absolutely. If that's your goal,
Yes.
I wish
that's
they had
what
a
I love
tractor.
about LinkedIn. It's such a serious platform. So it's such a great way to really connect with the change makers, the people who, who make decisions about the budgets and who can really, you can really network with.
Okay.
She just said, I wish I had a tractor.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not joking. When you get to a certain point and you really have an engaged audience, you might be able to reach out to a tractor company and say, hey, we would love to showcase your tractor in all of our videos.
Yeah.
What can we do?
There
You'd be surprised. Companies, you would be surprised what you can get and who wants to work with you at all sizes. You'd really be surprised.
It's all about building the right audience, like we were talking about earlier.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be a large audience. It just has to be the right audience. Yes.
Yeah.
The right engaged audience. Who's the guy on TikTok that did the Ocean Spray drink to the Fleetwood Mac song? He got so Ocean Spray bought him a truck. He brought so much attention to Ocean Spray cranberry juice, they bought him a truck.
Wow.
And he got to meet Fleetwood Mac. And,
nice.
This is the power of video. This is the power of live streaming. Like, you never know what's going to happen with your next video or your next live stream. You never know.
Yeah. And in 2021, we are going to be talking a lot about intention around your content here at Live Streaming Pros. So make sure you stay paying attention, because that is how you get that stuff, right? Is by being intentional with your content. So there was a question about live streaming on LinkedIn. I have a guest coming to you guys. Roger Wakefield will be joining us in January to talk about live streaming on LinkedIn. So look for that if you are curious about that. Okay, so Pelpina, tell everybody where they can find you and hang out with you, Dutch or otherwise.
Yes, well, I mentioned LinkedIn, so that's my home, so definitely go, let's connect on LinkedIn. That's where I post a lot of video tips and tricks almost every day. But also I set up a webpage just for you, anyone who is watching right now. So you can go to pelpina.com/LSP. So anyone who's watching right now, or maybe afterwards. It's a specific page just set up for you.
Aww.
So yeah, you can look at my website.
Awesome. Love it.
Love it.
Okay. So let's see. Any other questions? Okay. Lots of other questions, but we're going to kill it at that. They're kind of off topic. So
you're going to make me dance again, aren't you?
It's time to put our dancing shoes on so that we can dance this baby out.
Drink a little bit.
Get hydrated before we go. Did y'all enjoy this episode with Pelpina and Dee? I adore these two wonderful, wonderful people. And so if you are interested in having them come back, you just let me know. Give me a big yes in the comments. Dance and Dee Nimmin, that's going to be his new name. Dance and Dee.
You know what? I've got on Velcro pants today. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
TMI. I don't know why, but I don't need to know that.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the last time I'm ever on Live Streaming Pros. Thank you for hanging out with us
today. We got a lot of yeses. All right, so y'all are now committed to coming back to the show, except for Dee. All right. Thank you guys so much, Pelpina and Dee. Really appreciate your time and knowledge and inspiration today.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast.
Thank you so much. This
All
is
right.
awesome. And nice meeting you, Pelpina.
Yes, it was such an honor to meet you, Dee.
Yes.
First time. I love it.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Dancing shoes on. Ready?
Let's do it.
Set,
Let's do it.
Go.
Make it happen.
Yeah.